The archive moon drifted in silent orbit above the amber world of Talos, its vast libraries carved into crystal halls that glowed with soft blue light. For centuries, scholars from dozens of species gathered there to study a single mystery known as the dead language. It was a script found etched on ancient relics scattered across forgotten systems. No one knew who created it, why it existed, or what it truly meant. Every attempt at translation failed, and the symbols resisted all known linguistic models. The language did not fit any pattern of logic or biology recognized by the galaxy. It remained a sealed door to a lost mind. The Council of Knowledge funded endless research. Entire lifetimes were spent cataloging the symbols and building machines to guess at their meaning. The elders believed the dead language belonged to an extinct civilization that vanished before recorded history. Others believed it was a warning, a prayer, or a record of a long war. All theories collapsed under the same problem. No translation held up for more than a few lines. When humanity joined the interstellar community, their arrival caused little stir at first. They were young among the stars, still adjusting to the politics and cultures beyond their home system. Their technology was respectable, but not extraordinary. Their history, however, drew attention. Humans had fought wars on a scale that startled many species. They carried stories of survival against overwhelming odds. Yet no one imagined they held the key to the greatest mystery of the archive moon. The turning point began with the arrival of a single human veteran named Mark. He was no scholar, no linguist, and no explorer. He was a former soldier who had spent decades in conflict zones on distant colonies. After retiring from service, he accepted a minor security post on Talos, guarding transport docks and escorting visitors through restricted areas. He had no reason to enter the crystal halls where the dead language was studied. One cycle. Transport from a remote dig site arrived, carrying newly discovered relic fragments. The scholars requested an escort due to recent theft attempts by collectors who sought to profit from rare artifacts. Mark was assigned to the detail. He followed the procession into the archive wing. Walking past displays of glowing symbols carved into stone, metal, and unknown materials, as he moved through the hall, something in his expression changed. His steps slowed, his eyes fixed on a slab floating in a containment field. The surface bore lines of angular symbols that twisted in strange directions. To the scholars, it was just another fragment. To Mark, it felt like a voice calling from a forgotten part of his past. He stopped and stared. The lead researcher, a tall being named Lyra, noticed his pause. She asked if he was unwell. Mark did not answer immediately. His gaze remained locked on the slab. After a moment, he spoke softly and said he had seen this before. The room grew still. Lyra asked what he meant. Mark hesitated, unsure how to explain. He finally said that the symbols reminded him of something he had written long ago during a dark period of his life. The scholars exchanged confused glances. The dead language was believed to predate humanity by millions of years. The idea that a human could recognize it was impossible. They asked him to clarify. Mark approached the slab, careful not to cross the containment barrier. He pointed to a sequence of symbols near the center and explained that it formed a phrase about loss and endurance. The scholars froze. No one had ever claimed to understand even a single phrase before. Lyra ordered the room sealed and summoned the council. Mark was escorted to a private chamber. He was not treated as a prisoner, but the tension was clear. Hours later, the elders arrived and demanded an explanation. Mark told them his story. During a brutal campaign on a frontier world, his unit had been trapped for months in underground ruins while enemy forces surrounded them. Supplies ran low and hope faded. To keep his mind from breaking, Mark began carving symbols into the stone walls of their shelter. He invented the script to express thoughts he could not speak. It became his way to cope with fear, grief, and anger. When his unit was finally rescued, the ruins were abandoned. He never imagined his markings would survive, let alone spread across the stars. The elders were skeptical. They requested proof. Mark asked to see more samples. Over the next days, he was escorted through the archive. Each time he identified patterns and meanings that matched his memories. He explained how certain shapes represented emotions, how the direction of a line changed the tone, and how repetition emphasized urgency. The machines that had failed for centuries now confirmed statistical consistency with his explanations. The truth stunned the galaxy. The dead language was not ancient beyond comprehension. It was human. More precisely, it was born from one human mind under extreme conditions. The relics scattered across systems were traced to explorers and traders who had unknowingly carried fragments from that original ruin, spreading the script across worlds. Over time, it became a legend of a lost civilization. Mark struggled with the weight of the revelation. He never intended his private words to become a cosmic mystery. He felt exposed and small beneath the attention. Yet the scholars saw something else. They saw proof of the unique resilience of humanity. A single soldier, broken and isolated, had created a language that endured across the galaxy. The council requested that Mark formally translate the known corpus. He agreed, though he insisted on working at his own pace. As he translated, new meanings emerged. The language was not about war or conquest. It was about survival, memory, and the will to endure when everything seemed lost. Each inscription carried a fragment of his emotions from that long siege. Other species began to study the translations. They found comfort in the raw honesty of the words. The dead language became a symbol of shared struggle among all intelligent life. What began as one man's coping mechanism evolved into a bridge between civilizations. Mark remained on Talos. He's no longer just a guard, but a living link to a legend. He spent his days translating, and his nights walking the quiet halls. He often paused before the first slab he had recognized, remembering the person he had been when he carved those symbols in the dark. The galaxy would remember us. The dead language as a testament to the power of expression. It was not born from a lost empire or an ancient god. It came from a human who refused to let despair silence him. And in that simple truth, the stars found a new story to tell.